unpacking hurriedly. She made me take all her jewels out of their cases to collect them in one small box, which she might carry off in her own carriage. Her lady-in-waiting, an eyewitness to these events, reported. But Louis XVI had vacillated. As was his habit, he summoned his councillors to ask for their advice. Marie Antoinette was present at this meeting, but despite an impassioned appeal, was unable to influence the collective judgment. The affair was decided. The army was to go away without the king. The Queen despaired to her servants upon returning to her quarters. He did not choose this course for himself. There were long debates on the question. At last the king put an end to them by rising and saying, "Well, gentlemen, we must decide. Am I to go or to stay? I am ready to do either." The majority were for the king staying. Time will show whether the right choice has been made. But it was clear that Marie Antoinette knew it to be a serious error. She who was not able to save herself or her family in this time of crisis, yet had the power to rescue others. The lives of all who were closely associated with the Queen of France were in danger. Chief among these was Marie Antoinette's dearest companion, the charming Duchesse de Polignac. The Queen called the Duchess to her side on the evening of July the 16th, 1789, just 2 days after the fall of the Bastille, and implored her to flee. "I fear the worst. For the sake of our friendship, leave," she begged. The Queen even enlisted her husband in her entreaty, and Louis XVI did not hesitate to echo her appeal. "I have just commanded the Comte d'Artois, Louis's youngest brother, to take his departure. I give you the same order," the king exhorted the Duchess. "Do not lose a single instant. Take your family with you." And so the Duchesse de Polignac, with her husband, daughter, and 2 attendants, fled the palace at midnight that very evening in a heavy, oversized carriage called a berline. The Duchess outfitted as a chambermaid to disguise herself. The deception worked. When the berline stopped at Sens for fresh horses, its occupants were questioned as to whether the Polignacs were still with the Queen, their interrogators obviously having no idea that these well-to-do travellers were the Polignacs. They were thus able to answer, in the firmest tone and with the most cavalier air, that they, the Polignacs, were far enough from Versailles, and that we had got rid of all such bad people, and so were allowed to pass safely out of France. They went first to Switzerland, and from there to Italy, to seek aid from Marie Antoinette's family, including her spirited, resolute sister, Maria Carolina, the influential Queen of Naples, to whose court Elisabeth Vigée-Lebrun, Marie Antoinette's favourite portrait painter, also fled for protection. But it would not be Maria Carolina, the sister closest to her in age and affection, to whom Marie Antoinette would run when her time finally came, no matter how much she might have wished to. Southern Italy was simply too far away to be a practical outpost from which to organize an effective counter-offensive. Her husband, she knew, would need foreign loans and soldiers, as well as a place closer to home from which to rally the many loyal countrymen who could still be counted on to fight for the crown. This meant a flight to her brother, the Emperor, and with it, somewhat less happily, to one of his closest advisers, her eldest surviving sister, Maria Christina, Governor-General of the Austrian Netherlands. Marie Antoinette's history with this sister, 13 years her senior, and given to dispensing unsolicited advice, was checkered. They had never been close. The Queen of France openly resented what she considered to be Maria Christina's meddling, and on more than one occasion had suspected her of tattling on her to their august mother.